You see the title, but I struggled with whether this was awesome great news or terrible bad news. And you'll see why in a second, but at the end of the day, it's freaking sweet. So, good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. We are up bright and early for a big news drop. Revealed info, just released details, and new system. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and if you're not, I'm here to make sure that it turns that way. We're gonna kick things off with a quick story that flipped terrible and then back to, oh gosh, thank goodness, this morning. All right, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which is apparently rumored to be titled Super Mario Bros. Big surprise, was delayed till holiday 2023 on the Illumination website, which is so sad because this movie was coming out holiday 2022 and then got pushed to April 2023 and now pushed to holiday 2023, which just seems like, oh my gosh, the movie's either horrible or what the heck is going on. Nintendo doesn't know how to help make a feature-length film featuring Chris Pratt. Maybe that's the problem, but actually no. Breathe a sigh of relief. Illumination fixed things and re-updated their website just this morning to say April again. So we're safe. It has not been delayed. That was almost really scary. I was planning on birthday partying it up at the Mario movie this year, and then to save it for next year. I'll be so old I can't even count them on four hands. Anyways, all right, Mario movie is safe. We're all okay. We're all good. And this is still apparently coming out in April, spring 2023, which also means that there's probably going to be a Mario game tied to it. We've talked about before the resurgence of the 5th era of 2D Mario, made a whole video on that, but I do believe they will have a product tied around the launch of this film, and I was going to be super sad if holiday 2023 was that time of convergence. Instead, no. It's still spring, and spring is the best season for Nintendo with Breath of the Wild 2, and the Mario movie, and maybe even another Mario game. Today's jam-packed episode is brought to you by Curve Games and their latest Switch title, Chenso Club. Now, I know there's 1.5 million plus like 76 other eShop games out there, so why on earth does this new $14.99 release matter to you? I'm going to tell you real honest and real simple. All right, so make sure to click the link in the description down below to check out the game. Every time you do so, it helps support the channel and what I do here. If you enjoy it, that's the best way to help. Chenso Club, though, is a side-scrolling roguelite brawler with some of the best character classes I've ever seen. We're not talking about the standard stuff. We're talking about Witch, Firefighter, and more. And oh, you can play with more because it is couch co-op. I love that with my brothers. And in this game, the boss battles are epic. The screens are randomized, and you gotta be your very best, and that means sacrificing your own life. Not like my life, but your character's life, because the shops require you to spend life to upgrade your character. And you got to make the tough decision if you want to go strength or survivability, but maybe more strength does increase your survivability. And I think that that trade-off system is genius, combined with the very unique characters, awesome movesets, and top-notch combat. That's what sets Chenso Club apart. So check it out today. It's out on Switch. Click the link in the description down below. Now, today is 2 days till Splatoon 3, and that makes today Nintendo Review Release Day. And so the review scores have dropped for Splatoon 3, and I'd say to be expected. All right, it's sitting at an 84 on Metacritic, which maybe feels a little low, but if you look at the reviews, it's basically the best Splatoon ever. It just doesn't bring in a ton new. Like they say, the single player is fantastic. The new additions are great. Some people just feel like it isn't doing enough new. And that's why we see scores that range from 6 out of 10 to 10 out of 10. Ironically, this is the highest rated Splatoon game. Splat 1 got an 81, Splat 2 got an 83, the Octo expansion got an 82, and now this Splatoon 3 game has an 84. So, I mean, by all accounts, this is the best Splatoon, and it's really just some of those lower end reviews that are pulling it down. Otherwise, this game would be closer to a 90 on Metacritic, and that's because they say it is the freshest, best shooter Nintendo has ever made, which I think is great. You know, I know we've been kind of like wavering, are they doing enough new? But at the end of the day, like, this is the best shooter Nintendo has ever made, and so we're lucky to get to have it on the best system Nintendo has ever made. So Friday is more exciting than ever, but oh wait, I will be streaming and playing this thing early, so I hope to see y'all tomorrow for that. We'll be checking in bright and early on a Thursday morning. Yeah, I have an appointment, a doctor's appointment. Okay, but we're gonna do it bright and early. We're gonna stream bright and early. I'll let you know the details. I think we're gonna stream at like 7 something a.m. I don't know. We're gonna do it early. I'll let you know, but it's gonna be early morning Pacific, afternoon Eastern. Anyways, good review scores. It's what we expected, but basically like the best Splatoon, the best shooter. Just it doesn't reinvent the wheel, which maybe they didn't need to. What we did need though was more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet info, and they dropped a brand new trailer that divulges the 3 paths of this game. 3 major storylines that you can accomplish in any order you want, change them in and out, go to Starfall Street, hit up Path of Legends, and then take on Victory Road. So you basically have Team Star, the evil team of rebellious students who are up to no good and have a party bus that's probably filled with alcohol, Pokemon, and all sorts of, I don't know, late nights, and who knows what else could be on there. But that engine is absolutely a Pokemon in some form or another, and they have crazy leaders, and that is going to be one storyline. The other is Path of Legends, where you face off against Titan Pokemon, including the big bad Cloth, one of the greatest Pokemon names ever created, giant crab that can completely 360 his eyes. You also have Victory Road, which is all about the gym battles, and we got to see Brassius, who is a bold new gym leader. I think the aesthetic, the style, and the entire pacing of this rollout has been brilliant. Okay, the trailers are inspired, the ideas are cool, and it is the most forward-moving Pokemon. So we'll deep dive into it later, but man, I really just am super excited for this one, and I think what they're doing here by making it open, normally open world kind of scares me, but here I think this is the best decision for Pokemon. And they even included an auto battle feature that I think is going to be controversial as heck, but for me, it's really nifty and a nice way to quality of life your way through a Pokemon adventure where now you have much more to do. You have much more at stake, there's much more at play, there are 3 things for you to worry about, and who knows how many other side quests, battling, multiplayer. You got so much that having an auto battle option, if you want to just send a Pokemon out to kind of do some work, level up, build up, collect items, I think that is actually smart. But like I said, we'll debate that. The trailer, pretty darn sweet. I think the games are going to be awesome. November can't come soon enough, and I'm glad that they're really divulging, they're really rolling this out, and we only got to see a couple new ones, Cloth, Armor Edge, and then the Violet equivalent of Armor Edge. Armor Edge kind of looks like he's straight out of Mega Man Battle Network. Don't know how I feel about that, although they are bringing Battle Network back to Switch, so maybe this is like some sort of secret Capcom Nintendo under the table partnership, like put Mega Man in our Pokemon game. I'm sure that's not what happened, but maybe it did, and that would be super cool. I wish Nintendo would do more. Like, you know, Monster Hunter crosses over with everybody? Pokemon should cross over with everybody. We should have a Pokemon side quest where, like, I don't know, someone from Capcom, a Monster Hunter, where, say, Koraidon or Miraidon breaks down and you have to ride a Palamute to get the parts to repair them. Now that's hi-hat thinking. But the craziest part of all is what Nintendo revealed themselves. Pokemon Company drops the trailer, Nintendo one-ups them with another trailer for a new Nintendo Switch OLED. And this is where things either get horrible if you're me, or great if you're everybody else, because this thing looks sick. And once again, Nintendo is doing their darndest to siphon our cash and our money and strangely create this scenario where now the OLED is getting all of the love, and they're investing in multiple new models, Splatoon 3 OLED and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet OLED. So definitely no Switch anything advanced this year. Maybe next year, maybe beyond, maybe who knows. But right now, they're taking the Splatoon 3 sort of emblem style and applying that to Pokemon for a very sick, less subtle, but still very choice Switch OLED that has all sorts of iconography from the starters and the game on the back of the Switch. We've got the Scarlet and Violet Joy-Con, which I'm looking through and I'm like, okay, these are they the same color as Joy-Con that already exists? Because we do have a purple and we do have multiple red, but I think these are slightly different. I think this is in between Neon Red and Mario Red, and also Mario Odyssey Red, because those are 3 different reds. And then this purple is more grapey, I think, than the orange and purple like Halloween Joy-Con that came out previously. They're a little bit similar. I don't know. Someone's gonna have to do some like throw out the, what are those things called when you go check your paint and you're like, oh, I've got these little squares of color. You know what I'm talking about? You're like, hey, cool guy, what color should we paint the room? Anyways, very cool. The dock itself is snazzier than the Splatoon one, which just has, you know, the Splatoon one has the splat on it, but this one has Koraidon and Miraidon and a Pokeball on the back. So they're really pushing the design props, and it looks sweet. And the bad news is I want to buy it. And I already have this OLED, which is going to a new home. Winner will be announced tomorrow. All right, that'll be awesome. And then we have the Splatoon Switch, which is kind of my primary Switch, and now this Pokemon Switch, which means, like, holy crap. All of a sudden, Nintendo is doing the DS and the Game Boy and the 3DS thing where they have all these awesome special editions and they want all your money. And this one, again, is $360. The OLED started off at $350. The Splatoon model is $360. And now the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet model, releasing November 4th, 2 weeks before the game, is also $360. So it's more because of the designs, I guess. And it's definitely not including the game, and it's coming out a couple weeks early, and I want it, and Nintendo has really just been ramping it up. No Pro Controller for the game, but they are doing this special Joy-Con set, and I know people are going to be sad that you can't get the Joy-Con separately. They really should just one-off sell these Joy-Con, a Scarlet Joy-Con, and a Violet Joy-Con. And they might even be inclined to package them in with the game. Like, here's the Scarlet Joy-Con Switch game pack. Wouldn't you buy that? That's better than having to buy a whole darn system. I see so many people buying the individual pieces of the Splatoon Switch, like they just want the Joy-Con or they just want the dock. Nintendo really should offer this separately, but no, it's limited edition, it's special, and you got to get the whole darn thing, which is, again, what I am struggling with. Like, are we going to have a giveaway for my Splatoon OLED come November? I don't really freaking know. Maybe I'll mix and match them and create my own Frankenstein Switch OLED. But Nintendo coming in hot with another new model, and that to me was out of nowhere, especially shortly after the Splatoon model. Because remember, that thing just came out about 2 weeks ago, and now they're already announcing another one. Some people might be pissed off that Nintendo is even doing another one when people just bought this one, but that is the way of special editions, and this is actually much more like Nintendo. I think now that the system has sold 100 million units, they're like, hey, we can go hog wild or Fuecoco wild with the special editions. So let me know in the comments down below if you plan to pick this one up. Should I pick it up? Am I crazy? Do I definitely not need another OLED? This is still great news. It's still very fun, and I still love that Nintendo is investing in many of their big IP and bringing cool stuff to their fans. I think the Pokemon trailer looks great. We're about to play Splatoon, and then I have to decide if I want to fork over $360 more. Now, y'all forked over your opinions on what do you think Nintendo will add to Switch Online this year in the return of the community poll, and many of you think nothing. The big winner was nothing. 41% of you do not believe Nintendo will add anything substantial this year. Maybe some more N64 games, perhaps a random slew of NES games you never heard of, but I and 32% of the rest think that Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance will be coming to Switch Online. I think that's going to be a big part of the Direct next week. And then 19% say GameCube, 8% say just Game Boy. I think just Game Boy is actually the second most likely option, but I really feel strong about Game Boy Color or Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, however you want to label those, but Game Boy and Game Boy Advance coming to Switch Online. I hope. We'll keep our fingers crossed, and we'll definitely discuss it together. So stay tuned for more. Hope you guys are having a better day now than when you began this video. That's always my goal, and your wallet will probably be sad. But other than that, hopefully you're happy. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. I love you a lot. Appreciate you more. And until next time, thanks again, everybody. SwitchForce out.